Hello, beautiful people.
Hello,
Welcome to the
hello.
fireplace and welcome to the fire pit. Make sure, well, I was going to say make sure you share, but it's not even about that tonight. How you feeling, Jessica? You got a lot of stuff done today.
I am feeling good. Oh, Kamari's here. Hello, sister. No, there's no need to share. Soul family will find their way. The people who need to be here. Ah, see, there's Miss Jackie,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Crystal. Hello, hello.
Hi, happy full moon, everyone.
The ones that are meant to hear this.
Welcome to the fireplace.
Sorry. The ones that need this beautiful message will find their way here. Hello, happy full moon, Scorpio full moon, a lot of water frequency, a lot of shifting out of what's no longer serving us. I have finally removed the pedestal toxic frequency. That was a hard one for me. But,
And
you know,
I finally learned what it means to live in my light and to let that flow without needing to bring others with me, without
yep,
needing to
fix them.
fix them. Yeah. Welcome, everyone.
Learning how to be in
Everyone.
allowance and ease, learning how to stay in our own universe and really shine our I am frequency, no longer chasing after things we think we desire. Uh, Definitely not chasing after anything that we need because need. Oh, Candace is here too.
Hi,
Um,
Candace.
Oh, I'm so happy. Sorry, I knew this was soul family stuff. So I'm jumping out of what I was in because I'm going to say hello real quick. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Wandy. Hello, Marie. And hello, Candace. Lots of yummy soul families showing up tonight. I can feel it. This is a place of expansion. I feel like tonight is really understanding that we are definitely manifesting the lives that we have.
Yeah.
So, even if we're in an energy right now, hello, Nancy. Even though we're in an energy right now that like maybe we're like, oh, I'm still kind of not really want to be, you're still way closer than where you were like a year ago, and it's learning about how to stay in gratitude for each part of these transitions. I know in the beginning it becomes like this, like, I don't know, we're still in that instant gratification frequency. So we're like desiring it now, wanting it now, now, now. I could say now 2 years in, I'm finally in my I am frequency. I'm finally like seeing the powerful be that I be. I'm owning who I am. It's just really seeing where things weren't serving me, and that's I think what tonight's message is having this fire to really have this releasal of this energy that we're no longer serving it. It no longer serves us, and so therefore we no longer need to serve in it.
Yeah, where we're no longer providing fuel for the vehicles we no longer want to drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's huge right now. And me and Jessica talk about this all the time. The way in which we have found each other and are able to frequency match with each other. And when I'm talking about like real wonky shit that comes into our lives, and one of us is always in a place where we can be that divine channel for the other without judgment, without ego, without whatever. You know what I mean? That is,
We're just
the,
bringing all the energy to the table
yes.
so we can decipher through all of the information and feel what actually resonates for us. It's not an energy of needing to prove or improve. It's just like, hey, this is how I feel on this. And you're like, hey, this is how I feel on this. And then sometimes we're like, ooh, and then now our bubble of knowledge just evolved into this new evolved bubble of knowledge.
Yeah. And we want to bring that to the table because we truly believe it's the Jesus Christ Mary Magdalene template. It's that
Yes.
opportunity for us to connect. And we're talking about real spiritual ascension. We're talking about those of you guys that really have an awareness of the fact that what you're living is a fraction, if not smaller, of what is possible for you, and you know where you're being led. So we're here to offer safe haven, to offer refuge around a warm fire. We got some ancestor money we're ready to burn.
I
We
love
can
it. I
burn
love
some
it.
for ourselves. and we're gonna get into some. So I'm gonna do some fire gazing because I know, whenever I stare into a candle flame, I get a lot of really strong messages. And angels love flame, right? They love fire. So we're going to just flow with the messages tonight. We're gonna allow our frequency match to even be a stronger frequency match for all of you to be able to frequency match, and we're all gonna frequency match, and let's be on the same plane so that we could all fly high, right?
And we're going to do some collective polarity clearings. Tonight, what Jackie asked, are we doing a full moon ritual? In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
But I would have to say it's more of a Christ conscious full moon ritual where we're really going to be holding ourselves accountable for energy we are looping in. If it resonates for us, then feeling through it. And then I will, at different points when I feel like an energy is really charged up and it's something that needs to like have awareness brought to it, then we'll jump into some polarity clearing through it too. So this is going to be neat, something different we haven't done before, and we're just kind of flowing. I'm channeling like crazy right now. It's been like some stuff, that's happened. Okay, so to be honest,
Yeah.
I was really excited for this. I got comfortable following. I got really comfortable having someone else like and following their energy, and I have zero problem like holding validation and acknowledgement and being that cheerleader, right? And it came to a point where that wasn't serving me, and yet I kept pushing. And even though resistance was coming up, like I had this idea of being loyal to this certain frequency. And, I was just, even though there was resistance, I kept pushing through, kept pushing through. Like, I'm gonna, like, this was something I had to do. And it finally came to a point where that was no longer an option. Like the universe was like, here comes your piano, right? And when the piano dropped, it really could have been a huge abandonment, tornado. I could have gotten like, there was a part of me. Okay, so when the piano dropped, I was already on the phone with, let's say, one of my tools, one of my friends that I know has a defined G center. And to me, I have an open G center. So when I'm able to amplify the sense of home, then I have more security. And that was a big thing for me. It's really truly finding my security, my home frequency within. And I was struggling to do that. And so when the piano dropped, I was able to amplify someone else's home energy that even though it dropped, I was still in the secure frequency
Yeah.
that instead of me spiraling into this abandonment, loss, the lower frequencies of victim frequency, um, struggle frequency, like a lot of those things could have come up, right? But instead of not having, this special person I could connect with to feel that sense of security, right? I think I got lost there because I looked at
No,
myself.
it's okay. I'm seeing like a sumo wrestler, right? And I know that sounds wild, but it's like, you learn how to put on weight, right? You learn how to ground in that divine knowing of who you be, right? And then when people come in to try to knock you off your square, you train yourself over and over again. What can I do? What stance? What angle should my leg be at? How can I? And it becomes
I
second
wait, wait, wait.
nature.
I trained myself to go to my support system. So my tools, right? So whether it's a person that's in this higher self frequency, whether it's my tarot cards, whether it's my breathing, whether it's my sound, whether it's dance meditation, I go into my tools, my keys, right? Keys to ease. I go into my keys that bring me ease. So when the struggle, when the upset, when all these like, oh my gosh, kind of frequencies come up, instead of like going, yes, I'm drowning. I see quicksand right now, right? When I realize I step in a thing of quicksand, instead of struggling to get out, I just fall. I
Yeah.
just fall. I just lean in and I lean into my keys, and my keys pop up and they're like, hey, you don't need to get lost in this. You need to really feel your own power. And by feeling who I truly be, I'm like, you know what? I'm the practitioner's practitioner. Like, this makes sense. I'm like, honestly, not for the ones that are just awakening. I'm not. Like, I don't even know how to communicate with you in a language that you'll understand me. Truth, okay? And that's just because I have really stepped into this I am frequency that it's just expanded me so much. And now I'm finally at this place where, like, instead of like feeling like I have to get out of my bubble and go into somebody else's bubble and I have to help them because they don't have a bubble, I now realize that doesn't serve either one of us. When I stay in my bubble, when I stay in my knowing, when I use my tools, when I contact my soul family to help me navigate through these situations, and honestly, they don't even say anything. Truth, they
Yeah.
don't give an opinion. They're quiet. They just sit there and hold space. Kamari, I call her, and okay, honestly, she does say stuff though, because she helps me out. Her ancestors are like, let's get her using this. If I'm feeling like spiritual pressure and I'm not understanding how to move through that, I call Kamari and I'm like, help, sister. She's like, no problem. You know, it's this give, give, give energy. You don't feel take. You don't feel take in my spiritual family. And that right there has been this yummy balance to balance things back out. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have my session tomorrow with Nathaniel. So excited. And I'm going to be a whole new Jessica after that. Why? Because we're all different keys in each other's extensions, right?
Yes.
This is where Andy and I are like changing the frequency, not just from, and this is what we've been called to, feeling the money frequency and the slavery frequency that's attached to
I
money.
was just talking about this before, Jess. The new plantation.
Oh, beautiful.
You know what
Beautiful.
I mean? The new plantation, because in reality, and if you look at Jim Crow and all of these, if you look back at history, it was a conditioning of not only the slaves but the slave owners, which sold us all into this karmic experience we weren't conscious of,
No.
right? And it was a slow descent. It was a slow descent when it comes to our consciousness, and it's something that it doesn't necessarily need light, but what is important, and what I have felt in this conversation, and in conversations that I've had with Jessica and outside of that, my download is knowing where your light is applicable, knowing where it's important to shine your light and where you don't. And it goes to so many levels. When you reach out a hand and ask for help, if you ask the wrong person, they're going to let you go and let you fall to your death, right? I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true, because if there's people that are living in this old paradigm, they've given their pound of flesh, right? These are the people that give to the zombies so that they don't have to become zombies, but in reality they're zombies because they got bit, right? You give your pound of flesh, you're told this is what I have to do. You submit to the programming. You don't ask the questions. You continue to live with your trauma, and you continue to live in an unconscious state. And then when other people come in with their light that is a little more bright
I
than
hear
what you're
they
used
keep you
to.
looped in shame so that way you feel ashamed to even understand that the I am is within.
Right.
We're really taught unconsciously we're taught that the I am is not within. That's
Because
why we
it's
pray and like look up.
uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable when you look at people that are in cults. This is truly. I was talking to Jess about this a couple days ago. This is truly a Stockholm syndrome from the Matrix. This is the
Yeah.
Matrix's Stockholm syndrome. Does that make sense to you guys? This is a big deal, right? So thank you, Kristen. This is huge. And what you're invited into right now is an opportunity to frequency match. So take a second, breathe, feel into this. You're already frequency matching to us right now, whether you're conscious of it or not. But add a little bit more consciousness to it in this moment so you can frequency match to us, because what we're frequency matching to is the new paradigm of abundance. We were talking about this before,
And I'm
and
going to say
connection.
really too, this frequency that's right now is solar plex frequency. It's self-worth. Where is it in your self-worth you're still giving your power away? Consciously, unconsciously, where are you still allowing someone else to have credit for your power? And I'm going to tell you, I had no problem giving my power away. Stepping into it was wonky donkey for me. I'm like, but it's not mine. I learned it from this person. It's not mine. I learned it from that person. It's not mine. And now I'm at a place where I realize that what I do is not what anyone else does. It may have similar frequencies, but it's not the same. because we all get these messages different, and we
Yeah.
all are here to serve in different ways.
And when you come into this awareness, you have an ability to have a reflection, to look back, and to realize all of the ways in which your light was not received well, because so many of you are practitioners, and so many of you have this calling, and you're some of you are just finding it, but you still are able to understand and connect to us and frequency match to us, because you have a wisdom, you have a deep soul knowledge, right? And because of that, you have been unconsciously understanding the assignment, you have been unconsciously transforming and planting seeds, and now you're given the opportunity to let go of anything that brings you lack,
Oh, I get this.
suffering.
I'm jumping in. So here, right? So this is what makes the switch, right? Oh my god, I so
Etana's
sorry.
here.
What
Yeah.
how you said it, but then when I get that whole like this is so channeled. Okay, so it just went. I got too excited. I felt it so strong.
It'll come back. It'll come back. But
Go ahead
at
and
that
keep
on that
talking.
note, I want to go ahead and say my prayer and set my intention for this live. I'm not pulling any cards. We're directly channeling. If Jessica might be pulling cards, but guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, beings of love and light, those that walk with us, be with us on this glorious full moon in Scorpio and eclipse. Allow us to really see the true potential of the highest timeline and follow it. Allow Jess and I to be lighthouses that guide and bring in and hold that space of the soul flame, so that we may inspire Christ consciousness evolutions in everyone and anyone who is connected to this transmission. Archangel Michael, bring in protection against any distorting energies and or intention, and put a blanket of clarity over everyone, so that they may be able to see the events that are happening in their life with complete divine clarity. And with that, I say amen. For those of you guys that donate, Jen, I got your donation, and I'm gonna burn some ancestor money for you guys. If you donated, let me know. If you have any particular, I'm gonna write any ancestors of love and light on the ancestor money. But if you have any particular ancestors that you want to give an offering to, then type their name so I can write it down on the ancestor money and burn it in your name.
Okay, let's pause for a second. Let's all take a deep breath in through our nose. Hold it and state, my name is, say your name, hold it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Now release everything that is not what you are. Again, in through your nose. Hold it and state, my name is, say your name, hold it, feel it, release. I feel that for a lot of us, we've expanded past that. So let's do it one more time. In through our nose. Hold it and state, I am. And feel. Oh, yeah. Feel your I am
I am.
frequency. Hold it. Feel it. Feel it. And now release everything that is not aligned with your I am frequency. There we go. Let's expand us all out so we can have some more space of ourselves, space to allow us to take what resonates, space to be your own individual stamp. No duplicates. We just want you to hold space for you to be your best self. And allowing yourself to be your best self is going to allow the energy in this room to hold that best self frequency. So anything that's entangled, that's not allowing that, that's causing a block, will be allowed to be released to the surface so we can bring a polarity clearing through it and remove what's no longer serving us. There we go. Can you feel that shift in the room? Can you feel the sense of calmness in the middle of your chest? Do you feel a sense of ease?
Yeah, as usual, working with you and using these tools
And
that are
this
so.
is what I remember now. They just told me. Okay, so the past 3 months, okay, I'm going to tell you, I have been sitting in this space of gratitude. I have been holding gratitude so like top frequency and make sure that not only am I like, now here's the tricky thing, right? Holding gratitude. What does that mean exactly? Okay. Holding gratitude is not for anyone else, it's actually for yourself. Start allowing your heart space to fill up for the gratitude you have for yourself. Start filling yourself up. And this is what I've learned through this. I have had zero problems going out there and filling up everyone else's heart space. I had a really hard time accepting any of those received frequencies for myself. And over the last couple of months, I'm finally there. And the big thing that switched that is this beautiful gratitude frequency. And Feel Good, we watch him over on YouTube because, Feel Good likes to drop in some stuff. Queen of Cups is another chick we like to watch. She brings a lot of yummy energy to the table. Emmy Evolving is someone I like to watch. I love the way Emmy talks about these energies. They've been bringing up the same frequency we're getting. This is a time of letting the frequency of you that was tangled up into the matrix to let it go and to really embrace your I am frequency to expand out to this new, beautiful, energetic exchange universe we're moving into. And it's happening. I can feel it. Can you feel it? I feel the money struggle. Like, I feel the money changing frequency right now. I feel the death of the Jessica that was so lost in those lower vibrations. I've been working on my website and my I am stories up there. And, when I read through it, I think to myself, like, yes, that's my story. But that Jessica doesn't even exist anymore. I've healed her. I moved past all that victim stuff. I'm going to cry. Like, I have so much gratitude for myself because I didn't do this by myself. I did it with Jen. I did it with Candace. I did it with Kamari. I've done it with Andy. I've done it with Nathaniel. I've done it with Jamie Bates. I've done it with Samantha Redwolf. I've done it with Eric Bergen. I've done it with Vicky McLean. I've done it with Indigo, friends from all over the world, Claudia, Miriam. All of them had a frequency I just wasn't picking up in my circle around me. And when I finally found those people that can understand me and freed my frequency, it just started this beautiful expansion. And the more I leaned in and the more I understood, it was just about me and not me and the selfish, wonky ego thing. It's more about the healing of me because the more I love myself, the more I can push that frequency out for other people to understand and match up for with themselves. And not because I beat it down their throat, because I just hold my frequency. So if I could recommend anything to any of you, there's a bunch of great people in here. They're all some yummy frequency people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find a friend in here, grow on it because that's how we found each other. We found each other because one day I was on Andy's live and he decided to give me a free reading. We like talked, and next thing you know,
We did an
like,
exchange.
exactly, sorry, because I gave him my conscious awareness stuff. And that's what I do. I like to exchange. I like to grow you and where I have my tools and allow help for you to like hold the frequency for me to grow in your skills.
And it
And that's
doesn't
this
matter.
beautiful
It,
energetic exchange.
it doesn't matter what you have, where you're at. There's always a helping hand somewhere. You just have to be able to learn how to recognize it and to be able to see it and know that you're deserving of it.
Yeah.
And all it is, all of us, this abundant frequency, this new paradigm is really a community that we're building. It's a community that God is building through each and every one of us. And we're each a nail, a brick, uh, a door, a handle, a cabinet, a sink. We're all a piece of this, right? And what you are being invited into, not just by us, but by the divine, is an opportunity to live beyond and above what our recent ancestors and what the world around us is living in. And yes, there is a level of spiritual warfare to this, but it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be a fight. You don't have to fight a ghost.
Just have to hold your space.
Hmm.
Heal the frequencies that need to be healed and allow your struggle that you've been oh here. This is what they're telling me. Okay. If you notice, my hair is shaved off, right? Bzz, I buzzed it. Okay, well I didn't, but I went to anyways, my hair's cut off. By doing this, I really feel all the form and structure that was tied into hair, right? And to me, like, I really don't care. Hair is hair. Like, and plus, I normally don't do anything with it anyways. Kind of lazy with hair. So I shaved it off. But going through the shaving off of the hair, it like made me realize how like it was like a metaphor to struggle, right? Because I always see struggle like at this trophy that we carry around. I am very like I carried it around too, and there was something about the hair, and like how a lot of us don't have the time to spend an hour on our hair, this and that, but we do it because the form and structure and it makes us feel pretty. But does it really? Because I'm gonna tell you, my life is so much like I don't know. I don't have to brush my hair anymore. I just like wake up, like move, like washing is just shampoo. Like I don't even need conditioner. I get to like rub all this yummy like castor oil and rosemary oil. So I'm like always touching. I never was all in my hair before, and now I'm like touching my hair all the time. It's form and structure. How much of this form and structure are you looped into that really isn't even yours? It's just something you're carrying around because it's a collective form and structure or generational. In my family, it was a thing where girls are supposed to have long hair. Well, a part of me was very rebellious to that. It's just really asking questions, doing things because you can feel the expansion. When my hairdresser shaved my hair off, I didn't feel fear or an anxiety. I felt regal. I felt empowered. I felt like the queen I truly be. I felt like the high priestess. I stepped into my Pisces sun, Scorpio
And
moon
because you were
frequency.
stepping out of what the old paradigm's view of feminine beauty was, and you were taking your own divine standard of it.
Exactly.
You were redefining it, and and that can be applied to every aspect of your life. If you're a
Exactly.
teacher, the way you show up to your students, right? If you're a parent, the way you show up as a parent, right? All of these things are riddled with programming and an old form and structure that has expired long ago. We have milk in the fridge that is 20 years old. Why? Right? And it's because we all hold this frequency to each other the same way we've been holding each other down to this frequency. We want to blame the fucking government and all these other people. They have nothing to do with it. They understand our power and they understand the way to manipulate it. But we also can understand our power too and understand how to lift each other up instead of holding each other down to a paradigm that doesn't fit.
Anybody.
And while I still have the floor, I'm gonna go ahead and burn this money for Jen, Herrick, your ancestors of love and light, Kristen D, your ancestors of love and light, and Candace. Thank you for your donation to your ancestors of love and light. And I can tell it was received because the firewood just collapsed a little bit into the money.
Okay. Jaguar says, "That's beautiful. I don't want to cut my hair. Of course, I've thought about it, but also growing my hair out and wearing it free is also a healing journey for me."
Yes.
Hey, I'm not, let's be clear, okay? It was not for everyone to go out and shave their head, okay? Because that could have a lot of emotional, like, whoa for you, okay? That it was not. It was a sense of understanding that some forms and structures we're wrapped into don't even serve us. So for me, having hair really didn't serve me. I really am not the one that's worried about all of that. I just am not. So for me, shaved head, a pixie cut, that works more for me because that's about the amount of time I want to spend on my outside appearance. So that's me. And now, am I saying anybody that spends more time on their appearance is wrong? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
We all
saying
come from a different point and a different place in this journey. So your journey, my journey was always my parents or my mother really always made me cut my hair every week, right? Super short. And then I got older. I went into high school. I wanted to grow it out, but my hair was thin as fuck, right? And I always held this anxiety or whatever. And I always felt like I had a weird shaped head, right? So I was like, I can't even rock it. But now it's a different frequency because now I don't care. I used to be super insecure about my body. You'll catch me in the fucking Walmart parking lot, fucking changing and shit right there in front of everybody, and I don't care, right? People can walk. It depends on where you're coming from, right? Where your frequency is coming from, where everybody's coming from. Everybody has a different sign, a different placement, a different human design, a different experience, different ways that the old paradigm has taken its toll on you.
and it's more of, have you ever asked a question into that? Not just ask a question, have your head answer.
Yeah,
Ask the question and feel it in your body. Is
yeah.
that something that resonates for you? Yes. And feel how that feels. Did it feel light and expansive, or did it feel like you just put a parka on? You know,
Mm,
is that something that's for you? No. There's no right or wrong. That's where we're breaking out
yeah.
of. There's
The
no
old paradigm
right
is
or
right and wrong.
wrong.
The old
It's
paradigm is
just,
right and wrong, and we are too multidimensional for that. We're too multidimensional for Republican Democrat. We're too multidimensional for any kind of split polarity consciousness when there's a whole spectrum of option and choice to choose from.
and we believe in power of choice. I don't want to make your choices. I'm not telling you what to do. If you ever work with me, you will know I refuse to tell you what to do. That's not what I'm here for. And it's not even like, it's funny too because the word help, right? Help was like a wonky frequency for me because I don't really feel like I help. What I do is I assist. And
Yeah.
how does that work? Well, I've done the work to know who I am. I've taken millions of, well, not millions, but I've taken like 10 to 15 classes. I have 10 to 15 certifications in the things that I do. I not only learn these things, but I live these things. And I have truly shifted my frequency into the living frequency of life instead of the survival frequency of life. So, if you came to me for help, what could I help you do? Well, holding my energy of who I am will help bring like different questions that you need to shift through and see. I offer meditations that take you into your mind dungeon so you can see like how collectively you were caught up in a place that didn't work for you. I teach you how to feel your body feels, how to connect into what your body is instantly telling you. When I was keep pushing with this loyalty frequency I had to be into something, my body kept telling me no. I was feeling sick. I was looping. I was in this tornado. I was in overwhelmed. I was in I don't know, right? And yet I kept pushing to be in that until my piano had to drop and there was no longer an option. And it's learning that that's not how to make choices for me. For me, I need to listen to when my body gives me that resistance so I can say, oh, okay, I've come to the point that I need to at this point. It's time for me to expand out. Does that make any person wrong? No, no one's wrong. Everybody has done what they needed to do. Our jobs are complete. And now it's time to move along. Like, unconsciously, I feel we get very tangled up in some of the stuff in the
Yeah.
struggle frequency.
Well, because we want to. You said it perfectly before. We want to wear it like a badge. And I apologize for moving around. I'm gonna have to move away from the fire because it sounds like it's about to rain. And I felt this energy before. And Rafi's also letting me know that it's gonna rain. But yep, expected rain to start at your location at 8:17 p.m. Look at that notification right on time. So
Thanks, Kelly.
yeah, this is interesting because Jessica, you saying repeat. I'm sorry, I lost myself in that with that. I lost myself this time. It was me this time.
You want
Um,
me to repeat something?
yeah, please repeat what you just said because I was
No,
onto something. No.
no.
Okay. Okay.
I
Moving along.
channel. I don't, that
Yeah.
wasn't. See, okay, so here's something between Andy and I, okay? Andy is analytical. Okay, he's got a defined head. Like he's analytical. So he like okay, and I am emotional. So it makes sense on why I understand the like frequency of things, and that's really the language I transmit through is frequency. And Andy gets to take my frequency and take it to the human world and like really elaborate on it. And it's this beautiful, beautiful cycle we have, right? Now, the last couple of days, I have been channeling like crazy. Okay, things are just flowing through me. And can I remember what I just said? No, but hey, at least we're being recorded this time. So if you
Yeah.
really wanted to know, you can always rewind. And remember.
Absolutely. Well, we're talking about the old paradigm, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about and that's the thing too is that literally if you're looking
Mm,
there are a million and one
Sister's got
signs.
us. Kamari says I was talking about is no one's wrong there.
Oh, yes. Exactly.
See,
this old paradigm. Thank you,
that's why
Kamari.
Kamari is a part
This
of our
old
group. She
this
grounds
this
us.
this old paradigm um of needing to make yourself right, needing to prove anything, needing to shine your light where it isn't being asked for
Yeah.
is over because it's so obvious to everyone. And I was talking about this in my earlier lives. It is so blatantly clear to people that even are not letting it be obvious. They're not showing it. They're acting like everything's fine. They're doing their normal business, but they are not having an easy time right now. But they've gotten really good at living in the old paradigm and making it look like it fits and it's comfortable. Just like a supermodel wearing the most uncomfortable fucking outfit in the world. It's heavy, it's pulling, it's pinching, and they look like $1,000, right? These individuals are dealing with that, and they are going to see you in your ease and flow and want to find that for themselves because it's only natural. We don't need to shine a light where it doesn't belong. We don't need to be right or wrong. We don't need to live in that old way anymore because we don't need to be validated. The divine is
No.
doing enough of that already. Look around.
And that's where gratitude in your heart space for yourself really helps you to start understanding the validation you're getting from your spirit team, from your I am frequency. And for us, it's most definitely the Christ conscious frequency, Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. And for me, Metatron too have been like, whoa,
Yeah.
lately. So,
And for me, I recommended this book to many of you guys, but it was the Sophia Code
yeah.
that really opened up that door for me to take this journey. And Mary Magdalene was in that book. There's so many White Buffalo Woman was in that book. Tarot was in that book.
Oh, I've been seeing the white buffalo too lately.
Yeah. And there's something about this activation that is a step further than just activating your gifts, right? If you guys look back in your ascension, because so many of you guys, if you look back farther enough, you'll realize that your ascension started a lot earlier than you think. Your
Yeah.
first activation started a lot earlier than you assume, right?
And we're way farther than we give ourselves credit for, too.
Yeah. And all of the lives that we have lived in service to the divine, where we didn't get an opportunity to um, experience that level of consciousness and freedom and conscious creation, this is the time that we get to actually be celebrated and be able to flourish, right? We're a particular kind of wildflower that grows and is beautiful and is sought after and is so rare, right? But the climate and the conditions are just right for us to bloom and spread like wildfire. Everything, Rafi, don't. Everything is, don't do it, Rafi. Everything is working in accordance right now with all of this. If you just follow the flow, right? Anybody who is struggling or you're struggling right now, these are individuals who are fighting the current. They're fighting the river. They just need to let it take it where you need to let it take it where it's just going to take you there. Right? Buffalo is about new changes coming to us and the world energy spiritually. Yes, absolutely. Because Gaia is ascending and she's desiring this of us. And for so
She's
long,
desiring for us to kind of ground into her so she can really feel this, like, not just from the sun giving it to us and the ascension, but also from us actually waking up and grounding into her. I've been getting that vision a lot lately too, like this big thing lately. So, like, I'm going to say, if you haven't lately done one of the, like, sit down and, like, see the roots go from your feet or from your butt, your root center all the way down to Gaia, I would definitely recommend doing that. There's something about grounding into Gaia right now that's a big, big
Kamari, are you
thing.
sure it wasn't a tiger? Because this is the year of the water tiger in the Chinese zodiac, right? But and it could have been a lion. That's also valid. And Jessica's 100% right. It's not even just about connecting in to Mother Gaia, but it's also about us stepping back into sync with Gaia's ecosystem, because we have our egos, our separation, our trauma, our 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 fractured consciousness of the collective has caused us to have a narcissistic inflated ego that causes us to feel like we are not part of the um complete picture, that we're not meant to be in flow with Gaia, right? That we live our own, we're thinking about how the fuck we're going to get to Mars, right? We're already thinking about how we're going to terraform the shit out of this planet and go somewhere else, right? Who, like, what is that?
Collectively, but I'm not.
That's like
But
saying, mom, you fucking busted. I'm gonna go find me another mom.
yes.
Who does that?
Watch her take her flip flop and hit you upside
Right,
the
exactly.
head.
Her chancleta. Kamari and Itana know what I'm talking about with that one.
Mhm.
Chancleta.
Okay, so let's do real quick while we're in this, because I really feel this charge, and I said I would pause it when I felt this. So right now, I'm feeling the charge of us all. Like, I feel like the blocks. I'm feeling the blocks, the resistance that's in the room, that's keeping us all from our higher selves, right? Like really merging into that. So let's do a quick polarity clearing. Just like close your eyes, take a deep breath in. Don't worry, Jackie, I'll clear it out,
I,
okay?
I, I
We're not
forgot about you, Jackie. I know you know
yeah,
what it means too.
Shankla. Yep. Um, let's take a deep breath in. Yeah, I'm off again. Ready? Yeah, okay, you're off. Deep breath in through your nose and out. And repeat after me. Barriers down. Bears down. Bears down. Allow your higher selves to frequency match with my higher self. Expanding your aura all the way out, giving you more space, more space, more space. Expanding you all the way out with your breath and your intention to the space of be that you be, where your I am energy connects in with your human energy. Now we're going to ask a question. And since we're in an ask receive universe, and now that we're in this nice expanded space, when I ask this question, The universe, okay, since we're in an ask, receive universe, the universe must provide the information that we're asking for in this expanded space. Please let me speak English. So today I'm going to ask the question, where is everywhere in your being that's keeping you from truly tapping in to your I am frequency? Let that information load, let it load, let it load. You don't have to do anything. All that information, those frequencies, they're just going to allow themselves to come forward. And now everything, all of that is all around you. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to freeze it, 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 freeze it. Just your intention to freeze it. You have this ice cold air shooting out of your hand. And just freezes all of these frequencies so that way you can have more space to breathe, feeling the energy of response instead of reaction, allowing yourself to feel that this is the space of response instead of reaction. Now, everything, all of that is, we can choose to remove all of that from all of your universes. And all I need you to do is choose that now. And all you have to say is, I choose that now. Say it out loud. And now vanish, regush, vanish, regush, vanish, regush. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Now we're going to pull in some more energy. Where is everywhere you are aligning or agreeing with these frequencies in your being? We're going to allow all that information to load all the way out. All you got to do is listen to my words. All the way up and all the way down. We're going to freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them. Where's everywhere you're resisting or reacting to these frequencies? Again, we're going to just allow them to come up all the way out, all the way down, and all the way up. Freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them. Where's everywhere you're defending for all these frequencies? All the way out, all the way down, and all the way up. Freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them. Breathe. Give yourself more space, more space, more space. Where is everywhere in your being that you're defending against all of these energies? All the way out, all the way down, and all the way up. Freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them. And where is everywhere you are righteous for not stepping into your I am frequency? All the way down, all the way out, and all the way up. Freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them. And where is everywhere you're righteous against stepping in your I am? All the way down, all the way out, and all the way up. Freeze them, freeze them, freeze them. Now, everything that is frozen here in front of you, it's no longer serving you. Everything, all of this is. Do you choose to remove all of this from all of your universes? And do you choose that now? And all you have to say is, I choose that now. Vanish, vaquish, vanish, vaquish, vanish, vaquish, vaporize, 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 vaporize. What is all the shikyu, stupidity, unconsciousness, anti consciousness, and energy fog in and around all of this? Again, let it all load, let it all load. Freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them, freeze them. And everything all of this is again, it no longer serves you. And everything all of this is, can you choose to remove all of this from all of your universes? And can you choose this now? Yes, I choose this now. Vanish, freakish, vanish, freakish, vanish, freakish, vaporize, 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 vaporize. And all the form, structure, constructs, adaptations, and mutations that have supported your point of views of not standing in your I am frequency. Everything, all of that is. Freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. And everything, all of that is no longer serving you in these dimensions. We're jumping timelines. So, everything, all of that is, can we choose to remove all of this from all of our universes? And can we all choose this now? I choose this now. Vanish, freakish, vanish, freakish, vanish, freakish, vaporize, vaporize, vaporize. Now I'm going to ask the question again. Where is everywhere that you are not stepping into your I am frequency? Do you feel the shift? Do you feel the lightness? Do you feel how much more space you have now to allow gratitude to match up? To allow yourself to really feel your I am frequency and to allow it to match up with the universe? Now, since this is a beautiful conscious stated mind, we don't need to count out of it. We can simply open our eyes up now. Stay in this beautiful awareness. This is your space. You get to create it however you desire it. No one else is the creator, only you are. Find your key, it's right next to you. Look down and have trust. Pick it up. Only you can touch it. No one else can. And what you were meant to do on this planet, they need you. We need you. I'm sure I need you just as much as you need me in this moment. We all have a job to do. It's time for you to get out of your own way and allow you to do that job.
It's time to take responsibility for our temples and how we feel and how we be throughout the day, the wonkiness of other people and other things, and arguing for against everything Jessica just offered. If you really look at your struggles in life, you'll see where those are rooted in so many situations: squabbles, family problems, disagreements, arguments, places where you really don't see eye to eye with someone and it drains you. You have the opportunity and the awareness now to know that you don't have to live in that. Like Jessica said, you can pick up your key. You can grab it. You can get it. And sometimes things look like they're going to be insurmountable, 1,000 pounds to move, and all it takes is just a little awareness, a little of your own light.
And
And it,
sometimes you feel like a natural disaster hits you and you're discombobulated and you don't know what's up
that's
or
what I was.
down. And you think other people, have your key. Listen, no one else can ever have your key. Only you do. If you feel like you're a slave to something, you chose that. And I know it sucks to hear that. But if you can hear that and see that and ask questions on where you're not allowing yourself any other choices, then you get to expand.
That's your first ticket out of Zombieland. It truly is. We don't have to be walking dead anymore. We can be walking alive. I don't know. You know what I mean? We don't
Yeah.
have to live that. We don't have to live that. And I feel like um, such beautiful different ways of being able to understand it and see it and be able to digest it for you guys. But think of what it is that we're offering at this time, other than frequency matching, as a seedling. And if you are willing to have patience with yourself, if you're willing to plant it, if you're willing to see it grow, you will begin to be that sumo wrestler that can't get knocked off your feet. Her
Because you're
voice
grounded and secured.
her voice is very calming.
Ah, thanks, Wendy. It's really, and I feel like, we're in a water eclipse. And again, my sun is Pisces, my moon is Scorpio. And I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like I've surpassed water and I'm straight in plasma. And
Mm,
to me, that means that I am in the transmission of just really full blown channeling, understanding my mission, understanding what expands me, understanding what lights me up. It's just, I'm so grateful.
yawning
I
is a
want to
good
cry.
sign, guys. Yawning is a
Yeah,
good
yawning
sign.
is good.
If you feel like if you're subconsciously crossing your legs, uncross them, and you will start to feel a surge, especially if you're clairsentience outside of your right foot. That is your connection, the roots to Gaia. Okay, so spirit is going to find different ways to clear this energy, and drink a lot of water right
Yeah.
now.
Shower, bathe, ground. Okay,
Pray.
pray, meditate. Okay, let's see. Candace's so much just released. It was so heavy. I didn't even realize it. I was barely breathing. Thank you. Oh yes, because when we have that parka frequency on, that heavy frequency, right? What do we start doing? Hyperventilating. So
Mm,
yeah, so amazing. I'm so grateful I could help you remember just to connect into your breath. Candace is also another amazing light worker. She also works in the Kashapp records too. So Candace is another part of our soul family. We were part of we were in a mentorship class with her, right? Yeah.
hmm
And then okay, we lost it. And then
Stacy, I can't stop yawning. Thank you, Jess and Andy.
that's perfect. Go ahead and talk
This
on
is
you want to talk on the release of yawning? What that
yes.
actually is?
So I there are certain things that I'm late to the party for when it comes to spirit, like things that are happening with me constantly that then it takes me a while to catch up with me. And this was one of those things, and it happened a lot, right? I would always get picked on in class and stuff like that because I was always yawning. I had a dance teacher once tell me it's disrespectful. You're tired, right? When in reality, the spirit will find its own ways as long as you indicate in some way, shape, or form that you are ready to release. You acknowledge it is not yours. Spirit will indicate, or you will indicate, and spirit will do whatever it can to clear that energy. And yawning is a huge way. Yawning, coughing, sneezing, um, impulsive gulping.
Yep.
So think about that as an energetic way to sort of like release a huge like an energetic purge.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I've also noticed too, when it comes to the yawning, a lot of analyticals they yawn. So if you're really strong in your mind space, sometimes I've noticed that when you get a big charge of an emotional release or emotions like just surging through your body, that's the only way your body really knows how to release it in a way to like really get it out. That's why a lot of times when you hear me do my exhale, it's the audible because it's another way of forcing that frequency out that no longer serves you.
yeah. Stephanie says, I want to give some light to Stephanie right now because
Yeah.
Stephanie says, I want to see and feel it all so badly, and I don't know how or where to start. Okay, I need help with it all, and I know it's there, but I can't tap in. Stephanie, take a breath. Okay, I have a message for you. Okay, you have this thing where you constantly assume that other people have it figured out over you, right? You have expectation of what it's supposed
Pedestal.
to feel like. You're putting us on a pedestal, and you have an expectation of what you think it's supposed to feel like. That is where you are going wrong. You're already doing it, darling. There's so much of this that all you have to do is just be present with us. And the process is already taking place because you are choosing within your free will to sit here with us and frequency match with us. There is no more you need to do.
And a
There's not
lot of
some. It's
A
not
lot.
like That's So Raven, right? When
No,
everybody becomes a psychic at first, you're like, it's I don't see the That's So Raven vision. It's like, oh, I got a vision, right? It's
no.
not
It doesn't start off like that usually. It
right, but
doesn't.
that's what I'm
And the
saying.
way
It's that
it starts
expectation.
off, yeah, the way it starts off normally is hearing your own voice. Trusting your own voice is actually not you, because there's a
How can
different
you trust
frequency.
yourself?
There's
How
a
can you
different,
trust the divine if you can't trust yourself? Sorry.
yeah. No, true.
Yeah.
And true. True. And where do you start? To be honest, Wim Hof. I
Mm.
would highly recommend starting off with Wim Hof because listen, guys, the key to all of this, the number one key to the beginning of this is learning to oxygenate your body, for one, because we've been hyperventilating it until you really start breathing again. Okay. Two is after you really get the oxygen flowing through your body again, right? Comes in to understanding your body feels, okay, because the beginning of this deconditioning process is getting out of this looping mind dungeon nonsense. Okay, so how do you do it? Start with breathing. Wim Hof, Jen put it up there so that way you know. Why do I recommend him? I recommend him because he gives you the visual audio to go along with your breath. Okay. And he's amazing in this industry. I mean, I don't think any of us who are practitioners don't use some form of his breathing techniques because we
Hmm.
all do. It's amazing. He does the cold water bath. And what is that teaching you? Teaching you how to like really step into who you be. So much of, see, I have this fear. Well, okay, fear.
Hold on, wait. Yeah, you stopped us at fear. Okay, with that there's a dark shadow, and he say he showed me death and miss me bad, and miss with me bad since I was 13. So like I want to and need it bad because I want to see it and make it leave. I always called it the dark man. I still cry when it comes, and it only leaves when I pray. So I
Just
want slash need to see because I want to. Here's the thing: if you're afraid of what you see, you're not going to see. And I was talking about this earlier in my live earlier. The reasons that you're having blockages or that you can't see and all this other stuff is because spirit, good, bad, and in between is intense. And a lot of times if you have your own triggers and your own responses to fear, for example, if your own spirit rolodex communication where spirit communicates to you and gives you images to help you understand things, and if their image is a burning skull and that shit drives you up the walls and you think that everything is scary and life is just
you're
coming
feeding the
falling in
lower
on you.
dimension. The fact the fear is in there at all
Mm-hmm.
means you need to leave it alone.
But it's not even just about the fear. It's about disconnecting. And I know that sounds wonky, but hear me out. Disconnecting from and from your thoughts and from your reactions to these things, right? When you're able
Because
to
you're
see,
feeding the fear when you do that. And what you're
right?
asking them to do is shine a light into their fear.
If you want to see full vision and be able to see all these things, you also need to be able to acknowledge that other things may come into your awareness. But if you're going to have a fear response to those things, then you're just giving them more power. And that's where you're at. You're okay. You're safe. I pray in God's name, in Jesus' name, with love in my heart, in Christ consciousness frequency, and Archangel Michael, that you surround Stephanie Marie Cuts in all of your divine white flame and golden flame and protection so that she may feel safe until she is able to ground whatever it is that she is needing to ground within her divinity to move past this.
Amen. And on that note, that's not really something we can do in a life.
Right.
Stephanie, we're holding space for you to find the people that you need to have that as a one-on-one conversation. That's not
Yeah.
really like a live thing because there's so many different tools in it. I appreciate you bringing it up though, because
Yeah.
it did give us space to talk about something that, needed to, but to go any deeper, I'm going to have to stop it there. Kamari says there are many beautiful, see how one must be present. She's
Yeah.
bit tinglini. Candace's feet are tingling. Stephanie
Good.
needs help. I already said that one. Eduardo says was good, boss. Awesome. Thank you.
Mind shift your perception of fear to perhaps looking at it as a message.
Bam.
Interesting. So could it be? You know,
It's
there.
again, it's moving out of the fear.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. No, I'm not cutting you off. You can talk
No,
about it.
I think here's the thing, and not to give too much light to these things, but these things do exist, but it's also the amount of power you give them, right? And that's not belittling you or making you feel wrong for having your reaction, because it's only natural, right? It's only natural to think that way when we've been conditioned, right? But it's also your perception. Okay, there are a lot of what we call shadow people, is just really your ability to see some beings, and then not all shadow people are dark beings.
But
Okay.
here's the thing: you're not. First, I would ask Stephanie. I would recommend learning breath. I would recommend learning your body yes and no understanding. And then I would start asking questions into fear in general. You know, does it serve you to have fear? Because I'm going to tell you personally from my side of it, the fear and the fear distorts what you're actually doing when you're working with that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So then,
I feel
Itana,
like my legs are vibrating, the lower half of my energy body. Does this mean anything? It means that you're connected into Mother Gaia. It means that you're connected into the grid. It means that you're evenly flowing and you're not preventing it. Do not cross your legs, you guys. Do not cross your legs.
no, I keep doing it too. My bad, guys.
But Stephanie, just hold some space. Right now is not the time for you to jump into anything without an awareness. So build the awareness first. The protection is around you. You're protected right now.
Okay.
So
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, that's it. That's all I needed to say.
So Itana, she was talking about how Itana was one of Jackie too. A couple other girls was part of our tarot conscious awareness courses or mentorship, whatever that we were having. And here she is now. She's a year and more than that. Year and I think it's like 16 months or something like that
Yeah.
since our class, right? And here she is talking about how it felt when she started too. It's learning how to trust yourself. Am I right on that, Itana?
Yeah.
And then Jen's hearing your soul, not your ego. And it's
Hmm.
amazing that you say that because I've been hearing soul songs now. I can hear where the entanglement is when we're talking, and I'm like, all right, wait, hold on, it's clear out there. So yes, soul, definitely hearing the soul.
Jess, somebody here, my emotional center is amplifying someone right now. And I think if anybody's feeling a heaviness in your heart right now, it's okay to admit it. Um, right now, because I just feel it's important to point it out. So if this is you, Stephanie, speak up. If you feel like your heart is feeling all wonky, if you're feeling, so if you're really feeling fearful right now, or you're feeling like you're not able to, you're overcomplicating what you're receiving because you assume, right? There's a deep rooted belief, a deep seated, yeah, it's you. Okay. You have this deep seated belief. They want me to communicate this to you. You have this deep seated belief, and I don't know where it started, and this is questions that you need to ask to get to the bottom of it, of that you're not smart, that you're not intelligent, that other people have it figured out more than you, like we were saying, the pedicle frequency. You're lost in a whole lot of stuff right now. So Jess, would you mind, if you don't mind, walking her through that opera, you I don't know the words, whatever wonkiness she's feeling in her chest right now, in her heart. Okay, stop. There it is. I'm sorry, Jess. Not to throw this at you. This learning disability. Lovely. I have an IEP. I was in special ed myself. Okay? What is a learning disability? That's just a different label from the old paradigm to say that you don't think the same as other people. It doesn't mean that you don't have the capacity to understand or take this in. This is a deep rooted belief that everywhere you go, you assume that you are late to the party. And
And
you
you're
are not.
still entangled in collective energy. You have a learning disability. Says who?
Mm-hmm.
Says who? How do you know that that disability isn't a disability but an advantage?
Yeah.
How do you know that you aren't seeing things in a way that you needed to be able to see things so that way you could move through them? Okay, what I'm getting in spirit, I don't know. I'm going to read this. This is what spirit is saying that she needs to say. For me, like, it's kind of like, let me just read this.
Yeah, it's an ability.
And y'all, if you got something dropping in, like you guys are all right here,
Yeah,
like we're no pedestal. We're
and they
all
have
locked
been.
into arms. So if you got something, drop it in. Help her out.
You
Let's
see,
help.
we're
Let's show what
noticing.
this family is about.
We're noticing that you're still in crisis and you're still lost, and we're not letting you stay there right now because we're showing you what it means to frequency match and not to leave one behind.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. This obviously isn't just you. Someone else is in here that we don't know about that's looping through this too. So the card that I have, I love these beautiful cards. Is the Emerald card. Love, like light, is experienced in many different ways, some obvious and some subtle, that we can only sense it if we quiet our minds and pay very close attention. The message of the Emerald Spirit is to open to love in all its array of colors and to become a channel for its healing powers. You are capable of tuning into radio love. And now that I'm hearing it, you're capable of tapping into your
Mm,
I am frequency, Stephanie.
yeah.
Breathing, Wim Hof is going to help you really truly tap into that I am frequency. You are always capable of tuning in to radio love. So today, find that frequency so that you might experience and channel love. And that's what you're feeling right now from our whole little yummy container we have here right now.
Wandy says, Oh, sorry. Are you still reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aspire to love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yeah.
Recognizing that love must begin with you as you connect to the conscious universe, the source of all love. Channeling love nourishes you as you experience how its healing power dissolves the darkness. You are a love beacon today. Can you feel it? And right now, oh my gosh, full body energy bumps.
Yeah.
Can you feel that, Stephanie? This is what we talk about energetic exchange, right? You brought something to you that you really needed to have worked out, okay? We're talking through it, moving through it, talking, and then Andy picking up, like, no, we definitely need to move more in here. Getting that it's really learning to love ourselves
Yeah.
in all the capacities that we be.
Yeah.
And don't,
Don't
what,
make anything
thank
about
you.
you wrong. Don't make anything about you wrong. It's just your story. And I'm telling you, I lived with that for so long. I felt like everybody was in on a joke that I didn't get, right? Because that is what the collective frequency does when it comes to, oh, you don't fit the mold, you don't get it, you're not in the big class with all the other kids. Wandy said, I'm a special education teacher, and so many children that have so many different abilities never look at it as a disadvantage. Absolutely. And we have another one here from Ashley. Disability is what you make it. Use a chair, and I don't let it stop me from having and I have dyslexia, autism, etc. But I see stuff different. It solves problems, and my ma'am could not figure it out. Just part of you. I bet you have the same uh, something else someone can't figure out exactly. The fact that you can see shadows, the fact that you can see things. You like at the end of the day, my love.
I'm hearing she's a natural medium when she
Yeah,
goes through the fear.
yeah. And I'm saying when you begin to move through that fear and begin to connect to your guides, it's gonna accelerate very quickly. But that's aside from the point. You are very gifted. There's a lot more that you are meant to do in this life, and the reason that you went through that, you will learn. It's not for me to tell you. You will learn. You will learn the value of that path of why you came in this way and why you are where you are right now. It's important. There's a reason. Okay, we have to honor the dark angels in our life too. the teacher, the parent, the people that made you feel like you were not there, because they are also the excuse me, they are also the individuals and the people in your life that allow you to experience the joy and the bliss of what it feels like when you get to the other side of it, because you understand that contrast. You understand what it feels like to come from this to be this, to have this perception to be that. The journey is the gold. The journey is the gold. Because I've been though the darkest parts of hell, and made it out though to save people, and I made it though all on my own. Yes. Yes. But you weren't all on your own, were you? Because the divine has been walking with you every step of the way. You are exquisite and unique. Start believing that. You are all love, Stephanie. Stephanie, I think all you needed was to be seen. In this moment, you needed to be seen so that you could begin to see yourself. Okay? There's something very transformative about having other human beings in your life, or in life, look at you and say, I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you with my heart. I see you. What you are experiencing and the way you see yourself. The same way some people that have what is it called, Jess, when you look in the mirror and you see something different than other people see?
Body dysmorphia.
People have body dysmorphia.
I have body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
I have spiritual dysmorphia.
Uh-huh.
Not
You look
really
at yourself
anymore,
in the
but
mirror.
I
you
did.
I never heard that one. You look at yourself in the
It's the
mirror.
same thing. You don't take
Yeah.
credit for what you are. You have
Mm-hmm.
this crazy veil over who you really be.
Everybody sends Stephanie Marie the I see you frequency. I don't have friends. Now you do. Now you do.
Hello, Nancy.
Or at the very least, you have humans here that
Amari
see you.
sees you. We all see you.
Sending love to you.
And here's the thing, this is your start date.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a choice. Now you have awareness. You have awareness that you don't have to choose to stay here. You have a choice to see if you choose to move forward or if you stay. I feel personally just touching into you from this and filling in empathic, medium.
Mm-hmm.
You have to untangle from all the human stuff before you can be your awesome spiritual self. Gotta ask questions into you. Kelly sees you.
We all know what it's like. We all know
Itana
what it's like
feels you.
to be in the dark.
I wanted to give up my soul. Here's the thing, it takes for your soul flame to feel like you want to just, this one, I want to untangle. You can't do that until you get to this.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, I was at the point where my soul flame was about out. And look at what happened. You know what started? Breath. What makes fire burn? Oxygen. Start giving your body air. Wandy sees you. I mean, we're here. We're offering a community. In fact, Andy and I have really been talking about, you know, moving forward in this like holding space where we get to share these channeled messages, where we get to be this. Just talk, see, not get too focused on always one person, but to just keep it moving. Because here's the thing, even with this, okay, we may be talking about Stephanie at this moment, but I know there's some other of you that are
Mm-hmm.
tingling with this too. Because it wouldn't keep coming up like this if it wasn't that there was more that needed to get undone. You know, this is what we talk about where we go back into our universe. It's not this need to like push through, it's just feeling and letting it channel and move through. You have Jen, amazing healer, amazing healer. I mean, all of us on here, we're all upgrading to this next part of it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's whether or not, like, and remember, do not ever put me on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I know no more about some things than you do. Just some things I know a little bit more of. Okay? But that's where we get to lock arms. And this is this new energy we're moving forward, right? No one putting someone ahead of you. No
And
more
because
bowing to any
Jess,
other humans.
Jess and I have had the experience of calling out to the universe and God and saying, all right, we're game. We're game to learn. We're game to go through this, whatever. Because of that, they offer us the downloads, the obstacles, maybe like a step or two ahead of you guys, so that way we can be able to hold that space so that you guys can understand it, but you guys can be right there with us too.
Yes.
If you keep holding that space of I'm ready, universe, I'm game. I'm game to step into this new paradigm, whatever it is that is needed for my soul. I yearn that, and I am craving that, and I want to live in that. I want to reach my fullest potential. I want to reach my highest timeline. I want to live in that light.
Right.
I want to be
And
that sumo wrestler that can't be pushed.
And here's the truth, though. Okay, truth is this: you're in the beginning, right? I'm saying, let's say, like, we'll use Stephanie. Okay, wrong person. Sorry, Stephanie's in the beginning. Would I recommend Stephanie booking a session with me? No, I'm sorry, I would not. Why? Because I'm gonna overwhelm you with so much because I've just moved through that so quickly. Okay, but if Stephanie contacted me and was like, "Hey, I'm really looking to move forward, right? And this is where I'm at." I have a whole circle of soul family that I lock in arms with that I may be like, oh, well, you're an empath that's caught up in this. Jamie Bates offers things over here. Oh, you're, mediumship and you're wanting to move here. Well, Ricky and Tyler are awesome with mediumship. So is freaking Indigo. Find which one resonates with you. Oh, you want to know about astrology? Oh, I have Sally over here, Jess over here, and Cambo over here. Which one resonates with you? Do I do them all? No. And
Mm-hmm.
and we're not being in this lack frequency, we're able to go, oh hey, move over here, right? Or this one I'll help you here. Because we're building this community to understand how to ascend.
Stephanie,
I
you
need go ahead.
go. You don't need to
I
know
Go ahead.
go ahead. Go. You go.
No,
You go.
you talk.
Okay, Stephanie, you don't need to know who you are yet. You don't need to know and all of that yet. You need to work on your temple, your place that you live within yourself, right? You may not have a home or you may not have a whatever, but at the end of the day, you are walking within your own being, your own consciousness, and your internal experience is important. It's valid and it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
And I say that with love. So it's your turn. It's your turn. I just keep hearing that too. It's your turn. Now it's your time to begin to unravel this through meditation, through breathing, through journaling, right? Doing whatever you can to find awareness. Because it's not about knowing who you are yet. That's part of the journey. That'll come. That'll come naturally. That's just naturally part of that's what comes with the package, right? Um the employment package from the divine is
Yeah.
that just what comes with it.
Well, this is what Wandy's saying. She thought she was crazy for a bit, seeing or hearing things, talking shadow people, feeling like I knew things. I recently learned after speaking with Andy, one of those paternal aunts experienced the same and has shared a bit of her journey with me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you, when I really wanted to like connect into my soul, my guides, like who's my guides, Jen, Jen,
Mm-hmm.
right in here. Jen's the one that connected me to my guides, and she gave me details of who this person was. Megan, she's the one that taught me I'm an Andromedian. So we all have these beautiful keys. We're not a Walmart. Okay? We're not. We're a beautiful, like, freaking swap meet where we have.
Walmart is old paradigm, and I'm ashamed to say sometimes I still shop there, but it's still the old paradigm.
Well, I'm just saying it's not like we don't need to hoard where it's like this one all like, oh, I can do it all. Like, no, truthfully, if
Mm-hmm.
you're in the beginning, you're not going to resonate with me. And why even make you all kinds of lost and confused? If you're a practitioner and you're still not moving through certain things, yes, you're the one to reach out to me. If you feel like you're still looping in something that you just can't break, yes, reach out to me. If you want to go into a mind dungeon, yes, reach out to me. But it comes to this thing where it's like no more forcing this. It's more of just being this open space where if you just need to like interact with someone in this higher safe energy or higher self space, whatever It's all
Yeah.
somebody is going so
E-
fast right now. They're all
Etana,
like,
Etana,
I
I can
can't
feel
keep
that
up.
your Scorpio moon with the Scorpio full moon is like on
No,
another level.
I think it's Kamari's guide because sometimes a Puerto Rican guides thing comes in and it's like snap, 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 and they
Yeah.
slow down for me because of the language barrier, but we get through it. But it's
Etana,
really go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say Etana was saying, and this is important. LOL, dang, I love Walmart. Listen, it's about being in the world, but not of it. Okay, well, you can still go to Walmart. There's nothing wrong with that. What we're saying is understanding that we are not Walmart. That you don't have to be everything to everyone. That you don't have to be the answer to everyone's problems. Just because you're awakening and you have the awareness now doesn't mean that you need to bring the awareness to everyone. Doesn't mean that everybody is meant to come out of that by your
No.
doing.
And the more we stay in this beautiful arm linked red rover kind of frequency, right? The more that beautiful energetic exchange happens, and there
Mhm.
is no space of lack.
That's the abundant paradigm that we're stepping into.
And that's what we're going to be holding truly moving forward. That is our intention that we're setting. We walk away from expectations because expectations do not work in this next paradigm that we're choosing to walk in. And we stay clear with our intentions. In our intentions and our I am frequency, we get to truly unfold into the beings that we were able to come and be on this planet.
My mission and what I'm learning, and it's going to completely begin to expand upon itself. But it's to bring the frequency and the words to what is really available, what is really possible outside of the reaction of all of the crazy chaos and things that are truly just things coming up to the surface to be realized and understood, and then bring your focus back to your spotlight, to your divine light. I am able to bring the frequency and the words. What do you do? Right? And I'm not talking to you, Stephanie, because we just said that that's something you're going to learn. I'm talking to all of you. Start questioning and start asking yourselves, what do I do? What is my little storefront? And I'm not just talking about a business. I'm talking about what is it that you've always done without even knowing it.
And we don't have, Amy says, we don't have responsibilities to others to change the world in
Mm-hmm.
one day. Here's the truth. Ready for this? We will never have a responsibility to change anything outside of us ourselves. Because this is this other space, okay? Once you feel like you need to go fix it for someone else, you're taking away their sovereign will, their
Mm-hmm.
sovereign being. You're pushing your frequency onto them, okay? It's not about that anymore. Now it's about allowance and ease. Like you may feel like, oh, that person's lost in a reaction. Do you need to force the fact and show them the mirror of them being lost in the reaction? Or can you hold allowance and ease and understand there's growth for both of you in this situation? It's not about making people it's not about other people anymore. It really is holding the space in ourselves and redirecting all this busy energy that we wanted to go fix everyone else and turn it in. Because that unconditional love can only be found when you give it to yourself. No one else can match up to your love. No one is going to match up to your mind thought of love.
Yeah.
They're only going to match up to your heart chakra frequency of love.
Huh. That one that one is a big one, right? Because think about how many times have we thought we were in love with someone?
Yeah, because we could fix them.
Right, right. Or
Or
right.
because we could add to their life.
Right. But it was the idea of them that we were in love with. Right. And what is that? That is survival. Anything where you are operating in the mind and not the heart is survival.
Or the energy they bring to us, too. Sometimes this is what Queen Cup was bringing up, right? And this is another energy that is happening right now. And that I've also noticed myself. Be aware. Are the people who are in your life, are they really there because they love you and support you? Like, is it an even exchange? Or are you really surrounded around people who you give all the time, and when you ask for anything back, you get gaslighted? You have to beg.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you choose those relationships? I know it's not always easy to look at. Okay, I know that. But the thing is that we got to start asking these questions. We've got to stop just giving it and giving it and giving it and then getting mad because we don't give it back.
Right. Right. And also taking responsibility for where we allow our sumo wrestler to get knocked on its ass,
Yeah.
because that happens in so many different ways, right? How many times have you guys felt, and I'm sorry it's really dark, I look really dark right now.
And when he falls on his ass, does he just lay there and cry and scream, or does he figure out this new cool position to roll himself up and get
Right.
back on his feet?
Right. And most people are used to that sumo wrestler going back to the dressing room and huffing and puffing about how it was unfair, and his ego talking about how, if this person was 20 more pounds heavier than them, and all these excuses, their ego, all this other shit.
My footing slipped, blah, blah, blah.
Right. My foot was sweating, right?
Or a
Uh
lot of times when we fall, we feel like everything we did, like, okay, it's Sumo guy, right? Falls over. I'm stuck. Well, then he feels like everything that he did is no longer valid because he's down and he's stuck. Instead of using his power to roll himself up and find his empowerment of standing himself back up and not getting stuck.
right. And listen, I was born and raised in New York. A lot of you guys know this, but there is nothing like, and I did like this program where we were actually homeless for an entire weekend. We experienced homelessness, and then we went and we volunteered at shelters, and we put together a devised piece of theater around homelessness in New York. And one of the things that bothered me the most is that because people did not want to recognize the pain and suffering in other people, they would rather make them invisible. They walk by them. They don't have the money to give them, and they don't feel like giving them. They can't even give them the justification of eye contact or
Yeah,
even seeing them, right?
wrong one.
And and this goes into what Jessica's saying about a helping hand rather than saying it's an assist, right?
And
There's
Andy,
a
touch on this one too, because you're gonna this will tie all in. The helping
Some don't
hand
know
and
how
not
to,
knowing how to
right?
assist.
Exactly. And that's exactly where I got this from when I saw that comment, Jim, because we tend to want the helping hand from those who have pushed us, or they are in that frequency. Even if they're new people, they've pushed us into that frequency of the past. So we think that they're the ones that are going to help us, when in reality they're reaching up from above to pull us down back on their level. You know what I mean? And that is fraught. It's infested with distortion, with all of these other things, right? We see all these comments and pictures and memes all the time. If you need help, ask for it, right? If you need someone to talk to, ask for it. But we do it with this. We think about it with this. We overthink it with this. And if we just feel into it, we will know when somebody is going to help us and when somebody is going to truly assist us. Because
As
that
long
help
as we
comes with
don't have
stipulation.
expectations
Yes. Because a lot of the times the help comes with stipulations, right?
and
If I,
expectations,
mm-hmm. Invisible contracts.
invisible contracts,
Jessica's
invisible.
rubbed off on me a lot.
And then here she says, Stephanie says, I was homeless and slept behind a gas station for a month and it was horrible. Okay, I'm going to be honest. In my family, I had a cousin that chose to be homeless. He chose to be homeless. And we all had like a really hard time with allowing him to choose what he chose. And then finally, like we forced one holiday session after another, finding him. And he finally rolled over and decided to come home. Now that cousin, he's miserable. And he told me he misses being homeless because he was free to do whatever the hell he wanted when he wanted to do. It's our perception that changes things. You know, people may see Andy as being homeless. He's not homeless. He's choosing to decondition. He has a home. It's in his car. He created it. Like, it
And
may
I have
not be the
and listen,
form and
worst comes to worst, I
structure.
have a tent,
Yeah,
right?
and it may not be the form and structure of everyone else, but he's not meant to be in that right now. He's showing all of us in this beautiful documentary like kind of frequency of what it's like to decondition. Like for real. Like no crutches, going on and deconditioning, trusting in the universe. And when he spins, do we like sit there and enable what he's spinning in? No. When he's spinning, if that happens, I breathe. I hold space for him to remember his intention. That's
Mhm.
all I say. Remember your intention. And then as that and the more breath, it all starts to come in. It all starts to unfold. Those reactions stop being tangled up and start releasing into this beautiful response energy that he comes on live in the mornings and like just flows in this beautiful way. And I'm like, and that is my effect on the planet.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
and
I don't
we,
feel
I
secure
love
with
this.
using my language,
I love
and
this,
that's again is
but
a stupid crutch.
you're doing it
Again,
beautifully.
but that goes again. That's another stupid crutch. That's
Hmm.
another thing that doesn't serve me that I'm like, oh, no one understands my language. Well, how many times are you going to tell yourself that? Because then it'll start being true, you know?
And I love this analogy of the sumo wrestler because at the end of the day, we all have, like I said, the Stockholm syndrome from the programming and the conditioning of the Matrix. So think about that as your sumo wrestler has a sprained ankle, right? So it's gonna be knocked off. But you do some stretches, you take care of yourself, you take care of yourself, and you'll become stronger. You won't be able to be knocked over so easily. And when you do, you know what you need to do for yourself, the tools that are everywhere. Even if you weren't even brought to this live, you would have. The divine is bringing them to us in an abundance. If
Yep.
you're open to them, they will find you. We are so blessed. I tell everybody about this dream. This dream I had. We were on this spaceship. We were visiting all of these planets, and they were like lands full of empty dugout graves and all this dark shit. And I was over here in my light telling everybody, but listen, look, the water's there was a faucet running, look, but the water's still running. The water's still running, everybody, look, everybody, we still have water, right? You know what I mean? That is spirit. Water is spirit, right? It's about understanding that we don't have to be drugged down by everything that is around us. We can choose differently. And that is abundance. That's a different choice. That's a blessing. That
We
is
get to choose
choice.
our perception.
Hmm. We get to choose our perception. We also get to choose how we live in the world, how we relate to the world, and how the world relates to us. We can build that ourselves. That is your divine birthright. And it has been kept and hidden from people for far too long. And now the knowledge is readily available. Welcome to the world of the World Wide Web and connectability.
Yeah. Where you can find your soul family all spread out.
Hmm.
I learned my crystal gridding and connect with my yummy crystal gridding teacher. She's in Australia. I'm in Vegas. Doesn't change the connection. Quantum level connection is freaking spectacular. And if anything, I hold gratitude so much for being in this position in this world at this time right now, because this is a beautiful transitional time. A beautiful transitional time. Lean in wherever you're feeling uncomfortable tonight. Ask questions into it. Write it down.
And Stephanie, expand your knowledge. You can be smart. You can be, you are all those things. Look into Teal Swan. She has a lot of introductory videos in understanding different concepts, right? Expand, go on the internet, just deep dive and just continue to absorb because you're like a sponge right now. Absorb. And it'll take it, you're replacing what you're absorbing, all the negativity from people around you and overthinking every interaction and wondering about your worthiness. All of that is going to pass because you're filling it with the new, you're absorbing something different. I recommend the movie Shack, talking about connecting and transcending. I love that. Shack on Netflix, guys.
I've been watching The Orange is the New Black. I want to tell you, same kind of thing. Showing where we get entangled into things, where we force other people, or either ourselves in other people's universes, or vice versa, where we get lost in lack. How
Yeah.
we make so much struggle because we're lost in this perception of lack. that if we would just ask questions into, here's the thing, okay, and I think we're going to end it on this tonight. Truth is, as humans, we make everything way more complicated than it ever needs to be. Truth, okay? Keep it simple, silly. Keep it simple. Start with breath work. Move through breath work and just go where you feel drawn to. You don't have to like chase after anything. Ask yourself, where is it that you're chasing something? I was. This is something I'm releasing. The frequency of needing to chase, to be in a rush, to be in someone else's timeline. Why? Why? Because? Because it has to be better. Why? Because I can't give myself that better.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm not ready to stand in who I be. I seriously was in a class a couple of months ago, and I had this girl tell me, "You're so powerful. I'm scared to work with you." And I was like, "What the monkeys are you talking about? I'm power like, girl, I don't have lightning bolts shooting out of my fingertips. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not that. I'm just like you." I'm gonna tell you in the last couple of days, like what I say, Andy, like a week, 4 days, I don't know. Let's say 5 to now days. I go to open up the sliding glass door and have like a little bolt of lightning shooting out of my fingertips. Be careful what you manifest, okay? If I need it for my human to get what everyone else felt when they came near me, it gave it to me. I've got
Yeah.
lightning bolts shooting out of my fingertips, literally and physically. Like energy work, my Reiki, I've got energy shooting out of my fingertips. I can feel things. We don't give ourselves credit. Hold
Yeah.
some gratitude for yourself. Love yourself. Because until you can learn to love yourself, you're going to keep looping.
That's the first step. That's the first step. That truly is the first step, and it's loving yourself is a full package deal, and it feels daunting because it feels like this big thing that I don't even know where to start. Right? I remember that. I remember that vividly. Right? But it's a process of learning how to see yourself outside of what you've been taught. It's a process of peeling layer after layer after layer. And if you're open to it, the process will just take place and you keep coming back to it. And my advice to you is prayer, meditation are going to be huge for that. It's literally you, like Jess said before, setting back with your intention for what you desire. And the divine will find you. Take one step towards the divine, and they will take 10 towards you.
I'm going to pull one card to close it up and see. Orlight. It's a pretty card. Kind of goes with the feeling of what we've been upgrading to. And it's number 8, which is also my life path number, y'all. So let's see how this message resonates for all of us. I need to put my eyes back on. While I find the page, I want to thank you all so much for being a part of tonight. I feel so expanded, yummy. I feel like we're really creating the environment that Andy and I have consistently been called to make, and we just weren't able to really get the full message. And so, thank you guys. And this is what our closing message is tonight. To be mindful is to be aware of the now rather than to be distracted by the past or the future and your thoughts of oughtas, shouldas, and might haves. Your quest for healing requires discovery what you are truly thinking and feeling when you are not distracting yourself, or a light spirit calls you to be mindful of your needs right now. For this may be a time to let tears flow or laughter arise, to recognize something so subtle that you previously missed it, or to understand that you are so much more than what you can accomplish or produce. Be here in this moment. fully present and accepting of what is. Make the time to meditate today and simply observe what you know and feel without starting to talk yourself out of it and into something else. No matter how hard this moment may seem, simple, simply by observing it, you will change it. Keep it simple, sticking in your intuition, clear anything that no longer serves you. And on that note, enjoy the eclipse this evening. Thank you all for letting us connect. And as we leave, we shall ring on out.
We leave you in your divine light of the divine creator. Good night.
Shine your light bright.